Hello, welcome to this video on Bodhicaryavatara, chapter 7, verse 64. Kamairna triptih sansare kshuradhara madhupamay punyamritaih katan triptir vipaka madhurai shivai. Now I'll read it with the text, enlarge it a bit. Kamairna triptih sansare kshuradhara madhupamay punyamritaih katan triptir vipaka madhurai shivai. This should be an anusvara, subdotted M here, and likewise here. So, locative, samsare, in samsara, in cyclical existence. Na tripti, there is no tripti, meaning satisfaction. Kamai, that's kamai, it's the instrumental plural. It can mean sensual desire. Also, it also means the objects of sensual desire. This word kama has both meanings. This word tripti, if you are satisfied with something or by something, you're satisfied by it in the instrumental. It's from the root trip. It is one of the meaning to be satisfied. And it makes its verbal noun just by adding a ti, as do very many. And they're all feminines, these nouns ending in ti that make a verbal noun. I think I'm right in saying they're all feminines. They're certainly mostly feminine, probably all feminine. So tripti, and it makes it feminine ending in a short e, so it makes its nominative in triptihi, meaning satisfaction. So kamair natriptihi sangsare, in samsara, that's the locative. Natriptihi, there is no satisfaction. Kamai, in sensual either desire or in the objects of sensual desire. It means that if you're in samsara, you can never get full satisfaction from objects of the senses, from the sensual desire. It just means that however much you have, you'll never get full satisfaction from them. The second half of that line, Kshuradhara Madhupamay, is one compound adjective. Now you see kamai by sandhi kamairna is the instrumental plural. There is no satisfaction with sensual desires. And these sense desires now are qualified by this four-member adjective. Kshura means a razor. Dhara means an edge, as in the edge of a blade, the sharp edge of a blade. So the edge of a razor, the edge of a sword, edge of a knife, the dhara. Madha upama. Now upama is a noun meaning a comparison or an example, a likeness, a simile. So if something is madhu means sweet or pleasant. As a noun, it means honey, and it's cognate with the word mead, which is honey, wine. So if something is madhu upama, it becomes by something madhupama. It is honey-like. It is maybe compared to honey. So kshuradhara madhu is razor edge honey. So honey that is put along the sharp edge of a razor appears attractive. You lick it off. Result, you get the temporary taste of the honey, but you cut your tongue. So these worldly pleasures, these pleasures in samsara, are likened to honey on a razor's edge, superficially attractive, in fact dangerous. So, kamairna tripti sangsare, there is no tripti in kamas, in kamai, instrumental plural, in samsara. And then to translate the whole sentence in English word order, there is no satisfaction in razor edge honey like pleasures. Kshuradhara madhu upama, razor edge honey like, meaning that can be compared to honey on the razor's edge. Remember that this is one compound adjective ending in ai, because it's the instrumental plural to agree with the instrumental plural of gamai at the beginning of the sentence. So the next verse makes the contrast. So the first verse is saying there can be no satisfaction in samsara with these pleasures that are like honey on a razor's edge. So first, in the first line it said natripti, there is no satisfaction. In the second line, katam tripti. So punyamrite katang triptir vipaka madhurai shivai. So here it means katam tripti. How can you get enough of them? They're so wonderful, you just can't get enough of them. How could you be fully satisfied? That's enough, I won't bother with any more. No, if they're these kind of benign ambrosial acts of merit, you can never get enough of them. So these the punya amrita is here treated as a noun. So punya, loosely translated as merit, but it means a lot more than that, as we already know. And the amrita, amrita, cognate with immortal, and amrita, the undead, undying, immortal. So these immortal acts of merit is the punya amrita, the merit immortals, means these acts of merit which will not die, which will stay with you. Punyamrite katam triptir. How could there be satisfaction with? How can you get enough of these punyamrite, these acts, these immortal acts of merit? The second half of the line consists of two adjectives. The first is the compound adjective, vipaka madhura, and the second part of that, the shivai, is just a bare adjective on its own. So these are both adjectives, vipaka madhurai, shivai, both adjectives, both in the instrumental plural to agree with punyamrite. The adjective shiva there's of course the god Shiva, but as an ordinary word of the language, it means benign, auspicious, bringing good. May your journey be peaceful and auspicious. Shivash Chapantai, you wish somebody, a Shiva journey, for example. And Vipaka Madhura. Madhu, we've just had in the, let me look at the iPad again. Madhu, meaning honey, as I say, cognate with the English word mead, the honey wine, and Russian miedj is in medvedj. It means a honey eater, which is a bear, honey medvedj, madhu. Now, you can often make an adjective out of a noun by adding a ra to it. So madhu is honey, madhura, adjective, equals sweet. And with particular reference to the sweetness of honey. So vipaka is the maturation, the coming to maturity, the ripening, from our root pach, to cook literally, or then to ripen, cognate with our English word bake, and the vipaka literally the cooking out, or the ripening. and it's used in connection most often in the Pali and Buddhist literature of Sanskrit, used to mean the ripening of karma, good or bad. So these are vipaka madhura. If something is vipaka madhura, it is ripening sweet. In other words, sweet in its ripening. So when these acts of merit that you do, you create the karma that you do ripens sweetly. These are punyamritani. It's a neuter noun, punya amritam, a meritorious ambrosial act, a meritorious immortal act. And so these are acts that are, the adjective, vipakamathurai, the ripening sweet acts. Ripening sweet, so sweet in their ripening, shivai, benign, auspicious, that's something that brings you goodness and happiness. So I will read the verse again. Kamair natriptih sangsare kshuradhara madhupamaihe. Punyamritay katantriptir vipakamadhurai shivai. And that's it on verse 64.